especially because you've been on so many sets and you've dealt probably with definitely props, and especially I saw the Johnny Clyde, guns have been involved. The situation that happened recently
Oh,
with Alec Baldwin, right, where an actor accidentally fired a prop gun and ended up killing a person on the set, right? What was your perspective, and also give us kind of some inside baseball, kind of like an inside scoop of like the possibilities of this even happening, and also just the actual precautions that you actually take during your dealing with guns and prop guns on set.
so that's actually a great question because believe it or not, we were shooting Johnny and Clyde. We were filming Johnny and Clyde the very night Alec Baldwin accidentally killed that woman.
Oh my god.
And we were filming a shootout of all things.
Oh my god.
So it was a really wild thing. You remember that,
And
Mike?
if I may add, we were working on set that day with Bai Ling, who was in Crow, who
Yeah.
also, what was it, Bruce Lee's son?
Bruce Lee's
Yeah.
son.
Who was shot and killed on,
Jason
on that
Lee.
set as well.
God.
So she was very, very cautious and making sure like nobody
gotta be
touches the guns.
traumatizing.
It's locked up.
So
keep it good.
it was very intense, especially with that in the news.
Yeah.
And here's the one thing that I'll say that made us all feel a little bit better. On most of my movies, particularly Johnny and Clyde, there are no working firing weapons whatsoever. Everything we use are decommissioned airsoft guns, or disabled, not decommissioned. We're not talking about an old fucking aircraft
Non-functioning.
carrier.
Yeah, it's
non-functioning.
not in the military or
Not-
the old
this
time war.
This is it's an old battleship. It's been decommissioned.
Decommissioned.
But they're disabled. So like
Yeah.
even if you put an airsoft pellet BB, whatever the fuck
Yeah.
it is, it wouldn't shoot. So they're all airsoft guns. And then with visual effects, we had the ejecting shell, we had the kickback, we had the muzzle flash.
Wow.
And that just makes everyone feel a lot safer. So when that happened, we definitely did make a big announcement like that night. Like, hey, everyone, this is a really tragic situation. You're all going to be seeing about it on your phones. We just want to remind everybody that there is not one firing weapon on the set of Johnny and Clyde. You're all very safe. But of course, we were doing it all along. But there's just certain protocol when you check a weapon. You basically you hand the weapon off to the actors. You show them that the first AD, who's essentially in charge of safety, will show the weapon to every actor in the scene. They'll pull the chamber back. They'll let you see that there's no shell, there's no bullet in there.
Yeah.
You can take out the magazine if you want and look at it. The nice thing is with my guns on my movies, they're almost always they look real, but when you feel it, when you actually hold it, I mean, you can
It's a
tell
brick. It's a brick.
It's clearly not a functioning weapon. So that makes everyone feel a little safer. I have shot movies with, like in Vault, we use some actual prop guns, So
Wow.
basically, like, you're at that point basically talking about, like, essentially a real gun with a blank in it, And it's very fucking dangerous. And was it cool? Yeah, it was fucking cool. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
Look, it really does look great. There's
Yeah.
nothing like, there's not a visual effect on the planet that can truly match what an actual gun does. And also, you got to think in mind, like the actors, like when I fire a fucking shotgun, boom, that shit's moving.
Yeah.
Your body is contorting in a certain way. When you hand an actor a fake shotgun, they got to do all that shit themselves. It's never going to be exactly like your face isn't going to make the same face as when boom, that thing is fucking loud and there's smoke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's hard to act your way through shooting a gun. It's just a thing that happens. But I would much rather deal with that and let's act our way through shooting than having an accident, because that's just what that was. It was a terrible accident. But to me, it was beyond an accident. It was really stupidity. I don't know if you're aware of this, but during lunch that day, they decided to take the guns target shooting in the desert, go plinking as the gun people call it.
Oh man.
So there they are with, and what must have happened, and please, if I'm butchering this, forgive me, but what must have happened is somehow in the process of doing their lunchtime target practice, some real bullets got mixed in with the fake bullets.
Yeah.
And, that this shit can happen, and
Yeah.
again, when you don't have any live ammo on set, that shit's never going to happen. So I prefer to do things that way.
Yeah.
Just it's just peace of mind,
Oh no, 100%, man. That shit, man. That I remember when that story broke here, we were all going crazy. We talked about it for weeks on this podcast. We're like, "Fucking Alec Baldwin, what the hell happened? What the hell's going on?" You know, and then I think now like the charges I believe dropped and like that situation figured out in his you know, in his favor. But also, in your opinion, what would you think in that predicament? You know, if it was, you know, per se, maybe like how you said, would you kind of think how I would think? Well, maybe the person at fault would have to maybe be the person that put that bullet in that gun, maybe the prop people that made that initial mistake. Even though it's such a obviously we're not lawyers here, so it's like such a
Yeah,
difficult.
it is tough. I mean, it's hard to speculate on that stuff. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I don't know what Alec Baldwin was doing. I don't know if he was just like willy-nilly blowing
yeah.
the thing around. But the reality is, at the end of the day, he thought it didn't have real bullets in it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
whose fault is that? It's the person who's in charge of checking the weapons and putting them
Right.
in there. And you know, an actor on set. Yes, we always say this. I'm not a big gun guy, but the couple times I've shot at a range, treat every gun like it's loaded, right? Like even if it's a prop,
Mhm.
whatever. Yeah, you're right. But when you've been making movies for 30 years and people hand you prop guns all the time, you're not expecting a fucking bullet to fly out of that thing. You know,
Yeah.
like that's not on your radar.
No, hell
You
no.
know?
They gon' love me for my ambition.
Thanks for watching a clip from our podcast. If you want to watch the full podcast, click right here. If you want to check out one of our reactions, the latest ones, click right here as well. Appreciate you. Subscribe, smash that like button, leave a comment, and show us how much you hate us.